Phils and the conclusion of the battered first half of the season. 13 games against the National League. 13 games to finish with a push toward a successful second half. The final 13 needs to be anything but unlucky. Well, thank goodness that's over with. No more American League Baseball for the Phils. Now they deal with the National League, and it begins tonight for the rest of the regular season. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in town. It's game one of a 4-game set here at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Yes, it is indeed back in the National League for everybody in the NL. The American League will face the American League for the rest of the regular season. I think the Phillies are happy about that. The Pirates, though, they had a pretty good run against American League teams, and this is a pretty good Pirate team the Phillies are facing.
Yeah, you could see it coming with them a little bit. Last year they had a good run, and then they fell back during the month of July. In fact, a visit that they made to this ballpark really put them in a funk. They had a 10-game losing streak last year, but they have really played well this year. The season opened for the Phillies and the Pirates April 5th. Double play in the first inning thrown by Roy Halladay. Really good turn there by Freddie Galvis, and then Halladay just pitched a tremendous game. He'll win this game 1-0 eventually. Had all his stuff going. He got McCutchen right there, who now has turned into one of the best players in the league. Got Garrett Jones ground out right here and just dominated the Pirates that afternoon. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was warm. That was a jam that he got out of late in the game. The only run with this little fly ball to right field. Tabata had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, and then Ty Wigginton with a nice slide home, and the Phillies had one run, and one run really looked big in that game. And then Jonathan Papelbon came on for his debut with the Phillies and had a 1-2-3 ninth inning. The last play is a little bit close right here. Here's McCutchen, who has become such a star in this league. He thinks he's safe. He calls himself safe, but he's called out. Papelbon celebrates, and the Phillies celebrate a win on opening day. They had a nice day off the next day, and then back to PNC Park, where they really struggle over the years. In extra innings, 10th inning, the infield hit right there by Alex Presley, who could really run, and he beats the play. Then they go to a day game on a Sunday afternoon. The Phillies had a nice lead in this one. It was a little portent of things to come, unfortunately, the way they would blow leads, especially on the road. It finally ends on the double off the center field wall of David Herndon, who since has undergone Tommy John surgery. So the Phillies do not play very well out in Pittsburgh over the years, and they didn't start out very well this year. Here's the Pirates, well over 500, trying to get over 500 for the first time in 20 seasons, and they're off to a really, really good start right now. They don't knock you out offensively,
right,
but they have pretty good starting pitching, and their bullpen's good. And when you talk to their guys downstairs, they really catch the ball well.
Yeah, and Clint Hurdle has talked about his team finishing this year, where they didn't finish last year. They were at 500 at this point, 500 at the All-Star break. They didn't finish above the 500 mark. They're hoping to do that here in 2012. Well, the pitchers for tonight, Joe Blanton on the mound for the Phils. He'll be making his 15th start of the year. Jeff Karstens was supposed to make a minor league rehab yesterday. They scratched that, decided to start him tonight against the Phils. He's back off the DL after a couple months. He's making his 4th start of the year. Following tonight's game and tomorrow's game, fireworks, where the Phillies are hoping the fireworks continue for Jimmy Rollins from the leadoff spot. We'll get to the lineups in the first pitch for tonight's ball game when we return to Citizens Bank Park. Phillies baseball. The Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Phillies have taken the field. Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at left field, Alex Presley. Jose Tabata, the right fielder, bats second. Andrew McCutchen hits third, followed by Garrett Jones and Neil Walker. Pedro Alvarez is the third baseman. He'll bat sixth. And the bottom third of Barajas, Barmas, and Karstens. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Joe Blanton, who's getting set to make his 16th appearance. Wheels, it's his 15th start of the year.
Yeah, he came off a no decision his last time out against the Rockies. See the numbers on Joe. We'll break it down in a little while. He does not walk many batters, more hits than innings pitched, but he has one of the lowest, if not the lowest, walk strikeout ratio in the league. Here's the scouting report on him, and the middle one must command his fastball. When he does, his games are good. When he doesn't, he gets hit.
Well, he just threw that fastball for a strike to Presley, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe has given up 17 home runs this year, which is second to Mike Minor of the Braves, who's given up 18, and 1 more than Matt Latos of the Reds. 1-2 the count to Alex Presley.
We talked about command the fastball. Well, the 2 that he's thrown in this inning, where were they? Down and away from a left-handed hitter in a good spot, not in the middle of the plate, because he doesn't have great velocity and he doesn't have a whole lot of fastball movement.
Ground ball softly hit to shortstop. Rollins will backhand, has to hurry because of Presley's speed, and that's a fine play. 1 away here in the first.
So in the opening, that's the area where that infield hit was off Blanton that lost a game earlier this year. There's another pitch away in a good spot. Now remember in the opening when Jimmy had to come for that ball in the hole and Presley just beat the play? That was when Joe was in relief against these guys in the second game of the season.
That's the only appearance he's made as a relief pitcher this year. Here's Jose Tabata, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Tabata, a .226 hitter, 2 homers and 9 RBIs. He's 1 for his last 12.
Yeah, they have a couple guys in their lineup that are really hot. Tabata isn't one of them.
Out in front of a changeup, 0-2.
But still giving him a chance. Clint Hurdle, their manager, is batting him at the top of the order. He's a pretty good outfielder.
There's Clint Hurdle, 644 wins. As the manager of the Pirates, this is his second year. 72 and 90 last year. 110 and 123 overall for the Buccos.
Had a lot of years with the Colorado Rockies and managed them to the World Series the year they beat the Phillies to start out their playoff run.
Inside, that just missed 2-2.
That was in 07.
Look at all the charts he has up on the wall behind him. They're all color coordinated and everything. And look at all those.
They're very prepared staff down there. So are the Phillies. They just do it different ways.
Fastball swung on and missed. That was a nice tailing fastball for the first strikeout for Blanton, number 75 on the year.
Well, it's time now for the Nissan Keys to tonight's game. Tom mentioned the wind blowing really hard from left to right out of the northwest. Well, the Pirates, they're pitching well. They play good defense, so they're winning. That's a tremendous combination. And see if the Phillies can shake off a long, tough, miserable Sunday.
It was a bad day all around. Here's Andrew McCutchen, who takes a little low. It's 1-0. McCutchen's a .340 hitter, 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in. He has 20 runs batted in his last 21 games.
This guy's become a big-time player, and they paid him that way. Gave him a long contract extension, struggled a little bit early in the year, and as Tom said, he's on fire right now. A lot of extra base hits, drives in runs, hits with runners in scoring position. He can flat out play the outfield too.
6 for his last 22. Grounder back toward the middle. This will be a tough play because of McCutchen's speed. And Rollins still had a chance to make that play. That's going to wind up being an error charged to Jimmy.
Well, he hurried because of what you said, Tom. McCutchen's speed, and he had to do everything perfectly and speed it up a little bit, and as a result, he kicked it. Right there, you know, that's a play he knows he can make routinely, but you see everything was a little fast because of McCutchen busting down the line, and ball kicked off the heel of the glove.
Phillies are still not at the bottom defensively. They're one of the better defensive teams. They've made more errors this year at this point in the season than last. The Pirates, on the flip side, have been one of the better defensive teams in the month of June. And it's partly the reason why they're over 500 and battling for the top spot in the Central. They're just a game back of the Cincinnati Reds and a game ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals.
They're talking to Clint Hurdle before the game. He said he's very pleased with the way they're approaching the game, that they try to play the game the right way. They don't always do, but he has a way of wording things. He says, we're getting better. And, you know, that's a good way to look at it when you're trying to improve.
Garrett Jones, the batter, he's a home run threat. He has 9 this year with 27 runs batted in. They play him the pull on the right side. And they throw a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
Yeah, this guy has big time power. He's gone out of here to dead center. And also hit one to right center field when he was on a home run tear a couple of years ago in this ballpark.
McCutchen has stolen 14 bases this year. He's been caught 4 times. So they could keep him close. Luis Silverio is the first base coach, keeping the time on Joe Blanton, chatting with McCutchen in between tosses over there.
Nick Leyva is the third base coach, former Phil's manager.
A little outside, just a little bit. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Nick did what you did last time in Pittsburgh. He drove here last night after the game with his wife, and he lives in this area. So he took a little ride home last night.
Wheels, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than being in your own truck, driving back and forth.
Yeah, there is. That was a 40-minute flight we had that night when you were driving back.
Outside, 2-1.
To each his own.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right about that.
I got to throw that one out there. Sorry.
I've driven that route so many times, doing football games and college basketball games.
Well, it's a nice ride out the Governor's Highway. The old Pensy Turnpike.
A little outside, 3-1 through that changeup. 3 balls and 1 strike. The home plate umpire is Ted Barrett. Marvin Hudson's over at first. Tim McClellan's at second. And Brian Runge around at third as Neil Walker waits on deck.
Ted Barrett had Matt Cain's perfect game this year at AT&T Park in San Francisco.
And ball 4. So first and second. The error by Rollins. The walk to Jones.
Blanton disgusted with the home plate umpire, and you know he slapped at that ball a little bit when it came back, and he did not catch it. And Barrett couldn't help but notice that. That's not a good idea.
He took his mask off, and Carlos Ruiz said something to him. Said something to Ted Barrett.
Yeah, he's trying to defuse. Watch what. See if you can see what happens here. Now he throws it back. Blanton is ticked off as he's coming in. He slaps at it, and he doesn't catch it. And now it just happens to roll towards the umpire. Pretty hard to miss that.
So 2 on, 2 outs. Neil Walker's the batter, and he takes a strike. Walker 261 versus right-handers, 254 versus left-handers. See what he did in the first series against the Phillies. As you get down toward the bottom of this order for the Pirates, their guys toward the bottom struggled in that last series offensively. Mike Fontenot will make this play. He has time, and the inning is over. So no damage done. The error by Rollins, no big deal, except for the number of pitches that Blanton threw. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Pirates nothing, and the Phillies coming up. Pierre and Hunter Pence due to lead it off for the Phils against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and a lot of news circulating around the ballpark today. For more on that, here's Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, T-Mac, and it is good news. Chase Utley is in the building. He is here tonight, worked out with the team before today's game, and he told reporters before the game that his knees feel better than they have in years. So here's the plan. He's going to play in AAA tomorrow night, and if all goes well, it looks like he could be back here in Philadelphia and playing in a game as early as Wednesday. That is certainly good news as we take a look at what he was able to do today, taking some fielding and getting in the cage as well. He also said, you know what, someone asked him if he would be able to play 6 games a week when reactivated here in Philadelphia, and he said, no doubt. So that is certainly good news. And he's very confident that his knees are only going to continue to get stronger as the season goes on, guys.
I thought that was the big thing, Murph, is just how confident he sounded. I mean, he's always a confident guy. He has been since the first time he stepped onto the turf at Veterans Stadium. But he was assertive, he was strong, and he was very comfortable in what the next couple of days will have in store for him as Rollins fouls it back. And I think that was a good thing.
Yeah, I do too. And he was also obviously asked about the way the team has been going, if he's been watching it, and if he feels any pressure coming back, if he has to be some kind of savior. He said, look, some people have given up on me, some people have given up on this team. I haven't given up on either. And he thinks he's going to be able to come back and help this team and help him get some wins.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel joked when he was asked where he's going to put him in the lineup. He said, I haven't really decided it yet. Well, maybe I have. He's going to be one of those top spots in the lineup when he comes back. Ground ball, fair ball off the glove of the diving Garrett Jones down toward the corner. Rollins will get at least 2 out of this one, and he'll stop at second, a leadoff double here in the bottom of the first.
Jimmy's glad to see Pena take off out of town. He was hitting balls like that yesterday at that really good first baseman of the Rays. And Carlos Pena was picking him all over the place. Now, Garrett Jones not the fielder, obviously, that Pena is, and that ball wasn't anywhere near as hard. He's playing off the line quite a bit, but it's not hit real hard, but it's in a good spot, and a leadoff double. Now, this may sound crazy, but it'd be nice to get him over and get him in.
Absolutely. Jimmy is safe at second, safe and secure with New York Life. Juan Pierre always has the ability to lay down a beautiful bunt here and there. And he bunts, and it's a beauty. Up the third base line. Carson's will have a tough time getting him, and he does. Just by a half step over to third goes Rollins. That was a beautiful bunt by Juan Pierre.
Yeah, that really looked like a base hit off the bat because there's only one guy could get to it, and that was the pitcher. And he makes a heck of a play on that. Pierre, you know, he is still a guy who can move, but he can't run anywhere near the way that he used to. Think of how at one time with Juan Pierre, you don't even throw that ball, and he just bangs it at first.
I thought he might be off the bag right there. His foot is on the bag.
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought naked eye he had pulled off. The replay was about a split second after the ball had arrived. He took his foot off the bag. So now Rollins on third against Karstens, and Pence takes a strike. It's 0-1. They play the infield back, and they play Pence to pull a little bit. Pence did not think that was a strike. He has very good career numbers against the Pirates. He also has good numbers against Karstens. 9 for 24 with a home run.
Here we are in this familiar spot where a ground ball gets you a run.
Or a fly ball to shallow right field. Coming on is Tabata. It's going to drop in front of him. Rollins coming home. The throw to the plate is not in time. What a slide by J-Roll right over the leg of Rod Barajas. It's an RBI single. 1-0 Phillies. Rod Barajas may have injured himself. I hope Jimmy was okay. It looked like he was all right.
Yeah, they both look like they get. Jimmy kind of looked at his hand after he slid, and Barajas is banged up a little bit.
So the RBI for Pence is 43rd of the year.
That's good base running by Jimmy Rollins. Tabata. Remember that 1-0 game to start the season? Looks a little bit like the same play with Wigginton, with the guy that slid home after the short sacrifice fly. Well, never really got. What he did was he kicked that foot out there and he made Jimmy go wide. He touches the plate. I don't know. Maybe when he did the ballet a little bit, he hurt himself.
Well, I think his foot was exposed when Rollins came in, and I think he did bend his foot back, bend his ankle back.
Yeah, because he kicked the leg. He had the leg out there to kick him off the plate, and Jimmy had to go by and grab it with his hand or brush it with his hand.
By the way, that's the 35th run that Rollins has scored since being inserted into the leadoff spot. And the 35 runs puts him 4th among leadoff hitters in the National League. And those other National League leadoff hitters have been doing it since the start of the year. So his numbers are starting to get in line with a lot of other leadoff hitters around the league. And that's a good sign.
Yeah, and he is the Phillies leadoff hitter. And they are, well, their lineup when he leads off is as good as it's going to get. I mean, a lot of their problems are down below. It's not in the leadoff spot.
Now Carlos Ruiz with Pence at first. Pence has stolen 4 bags this year. Carlos takes outside.
The ball that Rollins just scored on is that one we talk about all the time, that sometimes if you get frozen as a base runner, it's too late. And in that case, it wasn't caught. But, you know, he's still got to get back there and tag up just in case, because it's hard to believe Tabata didn't catch that thing. I think the wind knocked it down.
In there for strike 1-1 to Ruiz. Carlos, a .348 hitter, 9 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Hitting .298 here at Citizens Bank Park this year. A quick throw over.
No, Pence is on his own. This, you know, you can run a little bit on Carson's and Barajas. 2 caught stealings out of 42 attempts with Rod behind the plate. Now that's not always a catcher's fault.
It's got to be some of his fault.
Well, it's got to be when it's that high.
He doesn't go. And a looper to right field. That'll drop for a hit. Pence is around second, on his way to third. The throw by Tabata on the fly, not in time. The throw to second goes over the head of Walker. The throw to the plate. Pence scores. Ruiz goes to third, and the Pirates are just throwing it all over the place. So the Phillies have a 2-0 lead.
That looked like one of those little league plays you just keep running.
It sure did.
We talked about how good the Pirates defense has been too. Not on that play, but give the Phillies some credit too for aggressive base running, because Pence makes the play by going to third and Tabata overthrows everybody. Well, let's start at the beginning. Here's the flare. Now, you know, a lot of guys are going to stop at second on that play. Tabata has pretty good arm, but he airmails it high, and now it's airmailed into right field, and here comes Tabata again. He said, I'm going to get me one of these. I've had 3 shots now at runners. I'm going to get me one of these guys, and he's 0 for 3.
All right, well, here are how the errors break down. The error to allow Ruiz to go for Pence to score is charged to Alvarez. The error to allow Ruiz to go to third is charged to Tabata. And now the infield in for Victorino.
Tabata wasn't warmed up before the game. He is now. I've never seen anything like that. This early in the game, seeing one guy firing it all over the place that much. I mean, that isn't an infielder.
1-0 the count to Victorino. Breaking ball, 2-0. They have the infield in for Shane with Ruiz over third. Not in all the way. They figure with Carlos' speed, if he's going on contact, they can go back a little bit, which gives them a little better chance to get a hot shot off the bat of Victorino.
They're playing it in the first inning.
Line drive, base hit to center field. Ruiz will score. Victorino with an RBI single, and it's 3-0 Phillies. Well, how about this for a first inning for the Phils?
Again, a lot of it's because they've been very aggressive on the bases. He can make some things happen sometimes. You know, the other team's not going to throw it all over the place necessarily. They'd send Clint for a glass of water because their team has been playing very well defensively in this inning.
Well, they had 1 error in the last 10 games, so they have 2 errors now in the last 1 out. And Ray Searage is going to go out to the mound and talk to Karstens. Karstens is off the disabled list for the first time in 2 months. They think he could throw 100 pitches, at least around there. He made 5 starts in the minor leagues and was supposed to start yesterday in the minors, but he talked his way into starting today against the Phillies because he wanted to come back. He just said, we had a talk, and I just kind of let them know how I was feeling. And I'm happy about the outcome of that conversation.
Well, we talk all the time about how the Phillies struggle when they're in PNC Park. Well, the Pirates come in here. This is a little bit of house of horrors for them. Their Phillies are 14-2 in the last 16 here and 9-1 in the last 10. So it's kind of like the way the Phillies perform out there. The Pirates lose here.
Let's hope that continues.
Yeah, so jump on them early and get them thinking, oh, man, what goes on in this place?
Polanco, .273 batter, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. A lifetime 300 hitter. I think it's a pretty good chance that Victorino's going at some point. The numbers on Barajas, the numbers on Karstens, and the fact that Barajas turned his ankle earlier in this inning.
Victorino, the way he's going back to first, going to turn his ankle.
By the way, the Phillies lineup is brought to you by Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. We meant to get to it after the Chase Utley, the bit that Murph did on Chase Utley, but everybody's hitting so far. The only ones after Polanco are Wiggins and Fontenot in the pitcher spot, in case you're scoring at home. 0-1 the count. Victorino goes, pitch is fouled away. Shane probably had that bag stolen. Boy, the wind has really shifted. Now it's blowing straight in from center field.
That's that ball that went to right field on top of it I was talking about. That scored the first run. It looked like it fooled him because it came out there like a parachute.
To the count to Polanco. 1 for 8 against Karstens.
Give you an idea, this is the norm for these guys. Saw this in their notes, and Tabata leads all Pirate outfielders with 5 assists, 1 error in his first 63 games this year. And his arm is.
That's one of the reasons they moved him from left field to right field this year.
Yeah. Just had a tough inning so far.
Chase watching, ready for his rehab start tomorrow.
Charlie said he might hit him up in the lineup. Huh?
Yeah, pretty good idea. I guess he means second or third.
Yeah.
In the air down the left field line. Thought maybe the wind might have a chance to save it and push it fair. Instead, it stays foul. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Katie Cronin of Ridley Park. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, and Katie will win $200. Thought you had it there, Katie.
Carson been staying away from the hole at bat, tried to come inside that time, and he almost popped one. Figure this will be away.
It is away, and he punches it to right field. Victorino's going to get to third on this one. At least he's going to attempt it. The throw by Tabata is a one-hop past Alvarez. Victorino's coming home. The throw by Karstens, he won't make it. Another error by the Pirates. It's 4-0 Phillies.
It's all because they're running the bases so aggressively here in this inning, and Tabata's going to get nailed with another error. It has to be his. Mentioned that the ball, you figure the pitch was going to be away. It was. Now here he comes again. This is a pretty good throw, but it's into the runner. Alvarez can't come up with it. Victorino scores easily, but it's set up the fact that he wanted the first to third right there. First to thirding is wanting to do it a lot of times, and he did. Parsons backed it up, but there wasn't much he could do about it.
Well, the other thing, he's coming back from shoulder problems. He's, a quarter of the way down the left field line in foul territory. I don't think he wanted to make that throw. Plus, he figured they're throwing the ball all over the place anyway. Why do it again? It's another E9.
He won't go get him anyway. 1 error in 63 games. 2 errors in an inning.
3 errors overall for the Pirates here in the first. Ty Wigginton, the batter, with a runner at second. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Some early fireworks.
Wigginton, a .250 hitter with 7 home runs. 3 of those 7 home runs have come here at Citizens Bank Park. He was hitting some long ones today during batting practice. May have gotten a piece of his bat. It did. 2-2 the count. Well, they said Karstens would be at 100 pitches or around that area for the night. He's already thrown 23, including this one.
And Barajas got nailed again. He's had a fun first inning. Pirates are going to, can we put a rewind on this and start over?
Swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs. First strikeout for Karstens. The only other out was the sacrifice by Pierre. And now the 8th man to bat in the inning, Mike Fontenot, who was starting today because of a couple of reasons. The first one, lefty against a righty. Second one is because of Michael Martinez's struggles. Third one, he's 4 for 12 against Karstens. There's Michael, lifted in the middle of early in yesterday's ballgame. Really been struggling at the plate. And a curveball, and it's 0-1.
That's the play to the 8-hole hitter with a base open and 2 outs in the National League. You get a lot of junk.
Lays off a curve. 1-2 the count. Fontenot this year has played now 27 games and has had a chance against right-handers and is hitting .391 against those right-handers. Not too shabby.
Yeah, afraid against left-handers. He doesn't face that many. You know, right-handers, he's been a very good pinch hitter for the Phillies.
5 for 14 as a pinch hitter. .357 average. Here he's got a chance as a regular to get a base hit to maybe drive in another run. Swing and a miss and a curveball. So 69-mile-an-hour curveball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Karstens. Phillies score 4 runs. The Pirates commit 3 errors in this inning. Take the early lead. Some pretty good swings. It started with Rollins, the sack by Pierre, and then a base hit by Hunter Pence started the scoring. Carlos Ruiz just hit the ball where it was. The save of Polanco and some aggressive base running by Victorino. The Phils are up 4. Kansas City. Help send Carlos Ruiz and other Phillies to this year's game by voting up to 25 times at Phillies.com. Vote early, vote often. Vote today at Phillies.com. Pedro Alvarez will lead it off for the Pirates. 4-0 Phillies. Alvarez, .223 this year with 13 home runs.
He has really picked it up lately. Look at that. This is a guy that they keep hoping is going to arrive as a big-time major league player. And he has just struggled so much throughout his career with injuries and just not producing. And now all of a sudden he's hot. And everybody on the Pirates are going, oh, hope it's not an illusion.
203 in April, 207 in May, but 267 here in June.
A lot of extra base hits.
Fastball just outside, 1-2.
This guy has 12 doubles and 13 homers. He has 25 extra base hits.
Off the end of the bat, a base hit to center field. Victorino will get to it and hold Alvarez to a single. So the first hit of the day for the Pirates. And it comes to start the second. That'll bring Rod Barajas to the plate. At least he's the scheduled hitter. We'll see if he bats. He had been nicked up in that first inning. Clint Hurdle just asked if he can. Yeah, Michael McHenry's going to bat for him. So they're going to put a pinch hitter. They're going to put their backup catcher in. Here in the second inning. All right, so Wheels, so all your notes on Rod Barajas, you can discard them for the day if you choose to.
Well, that's, I didn't want to see Rod get hurt, but that's better than the pitcher going real quick.
McHenry is a guy that used to be with Clint Hurdle, the Colorado Rockies organization. The Pirates picked him up for the Red Sox last year. Meanwhile, for the Phillies, Eric Kratz is their backup catcher now because Brian Schneider has been placed on the disabled list with a sprained ankle after that play yesterday. Charlie said last night after the game it's going to be a few days, but obviously it's going to be longer than a few days, so they decide to bring Kratz back up and put Brian on the DL. We hope Brian makes a very quick recovery.
Boy, this is a game where the Pirates are going, you got to be kidding me, with all the stuff that's happened. Or they only have a 4-man bench to start out tonight. Have to put their backup catcher in the game in the second inning, which they have to figure, all right, who's our third guy? By the way, we checked on that today, and it's Ty Wigginton for the Phillies. If it heaven forbid something would happen and they'd have to use another guy.
I think it's Matt Haig for the Pirates.
Okay.
1-0 the count to McHenry, and 1 ball and 1 strike. McHenry on the year, a 174 hitter, 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Of his 12 hits, 6 of those are extra base hits. To the count, he broke his bat. One of Santa's helpers, I believe, got that ball. Let's see, which hat should I wear today? This one. Although today is 6 months until Christmas.
There you go.
That always threw me off. I always said, why are they doing Christmas in July then?
Yeah, because that's 5 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to ask marketing.
Our marketing department?
Anybody's.
All right. It does sound better. Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Christmas in June.
Maybe it's more alliterative.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Alvarez off first. A little low, 2-2. Last outing for Joe against the Rockies. Wills mentioned he got a no decision in a game the Phils won 7-6. He went 7 innings. He allowed 6 hits and 5 runs. He didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 6. That is a bullet. Oof.
This wind right now has gotten ridiculous. I heard there was a little cold front going to come through, cool things off. But man, are those flags flapping. Fans came dressed for summertime.
I don't know about where you were this morning, but the winds that were whipping through the thunderstorms this morning.
Oof. We didn't get them in our area, but you got them further north.
Line drive base hit to left field for McHenry. Back-to-back singles allowed by Blanton. And with nobody out, Clint Barmas will be the batter. Be the first to know the latest news on all your Philly teams. Get Philly sports when you're on the go, right at the palm of your hand. Now available on your iPhone or Android. Download the free CSN Sports app today. Jim Salisbury is here in the ballpark. Marshall Harris was here today. A lot of news going on. I watched Jim spend about 20 minutes. Larry Anderson was teaching Jim and Kevin Gregg from the Phillies PR department how to throw a cutter.
Well, that was a waste of his time.
Well, you never know what they're going to use it.
When?
I don't know. Could be a wiffle ball game and they'll break out anytime.
Yeah.
Carlos goes out to the mound to talk to Blanton. He's lost his command a little bit here in this second. 12 balls, 18 strikes overall.
Had a long bottom of the first inning. Sometimes guys will come out and struggle a little bit, but you know, it's time to let's go regroup. You got the bottom of the order.
Barmas was a free agent signee by the Pirates this offseason. As good as the Pirates have been, their free agent pickups have been criticized somewhat. Guys really haven't performed the way that everybody anticipated they would. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Barmas was at the Astros last year. A guy that Clint Hurdle had with him in Colorado. Up with Alvarez at second and McHenry at first, neither being held on. Ground ball to short. That could be two. Rollins, quick toss to second for one. On to first, a 6-4-3 double play.
Now that's a good regroup. Now you can see your way out of this with nothing. With the pitcher coming up. Bottom of the order. Good pitch there. Got him to roll one over. A ground ball, an easy double play ball. Nice job by Fontenot. He decided to use the bag for protection, back off, and got a lot on the throw. Barmer's not a real fast runner.
So the double play combination of Rollins and Fontenot produced the double play for the first two outs. Karstens takes a strike. 10 for 121 for his career. 67 strikeouts. So more than half his outs, or half his at bats, have resulted in strikeouts.
Originally signed by the Yankees.
He's a first round or 10th round pick.
Yeah. Came over in that deal with Ollendorf, right?
All those deals that the Pirates. I mean, one of those many deals they made a couple of years ago.
Tapia was in that deal, and it was for Xavier Nady and Marte.
Late on that fastball, he grounds it foul.
That was in July of 2008, and as it turned out, Marte the following year really hurt the Phillies in the World Series for the Yankees against their left-handed hitters.
Meanwhile, Nady really didn't pan out to be a whole lot for the Yankees that year, or the year before. Karstens taps it over toward the on-deck circle.
And Joe has a 4-run lead right here in the second inning, but 35 pitches already, 36. And with the bullpen problems they've been having, you know, they really would like him to go deep into the game.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Got him. Late on a fastball, first strikeout or second strikeout for Blanton. Side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left. Yep, halfway to Christmas. Everybody go to bed early tonight. Game box score, in case you're wondering what happened with the Phils in their half of the first. Well, there you go. They picked up 5 hits. They capitalized on 3 errors by the Pirates. 3, including 2 by Jose Tabata, their right fielder. And now Joe Blanton will lead it off. He's the only one that's looking for a plate appearance in that Xfinity lineup card. 4-0 Phillies. Michael McHenry does stay in the ballgame after pinch hitting for Barajas, and he's behind the plates. See in the background the flags blowing in the way they are. Joe Blanton hitting under 100. He takes a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. There's McHenry.
Carson gets settled in this, and he might have been standing out there thinking, I should have done another minor league rehab.
Well, he was supposed to throw 100 pitches yesterday for Indianapolis. And there was rumblings, I guess, during the game against the Tigers that he would start tonight. He had made 5 appearances. He was 1-2 with a 3.04 earned run average. And he's just struck out Joe Blanton, so he has struck out 3 in a row.
Yeah, and the way they were throwing the ball around the first day, like, well, welcome back to the major leagues.
Yeah. Jose Tabata with 2 errors, Pedro Alvarez with 1. Jimmy Rollins doubled and scored his first time up. Takes outside. Taking a look at some of the numbers today, Wheels. Rollins, who's now 6 for 13 in the last 4 ball games, has raised his average to 268 overall. But as the leadoff man, he's hitting 285, which is the 4th best average among leadoff hitters in the National League.
And made some hard outs, too. You know, that's a good sign. The numbers you're giving there, Tom, are positive. And also, you look at his outs, he's had a lot of trouble with pop-ups this year, hitting a lot of pop-ups. And when he does that, I mean, it's going to be an out. But you hit hard ground balls like that, and you'll find holes.
Well, with 7 home runs, even though he hasn't been the leadoff hitter for the entire year, is the most among leadoff hitters in the National League.
And if you hit a lot of pop-ups, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, Sarge was talking about it yesterday. Jimmy and Shane have popped out a staggering amount of times. They've popped out 32 times. Here's Juan Pierre, who sacrificed his first time up. It's 0-1. Get those 2 guys going with Chase coming back. Really help this offense. Jimmy's already going. Get Shane going consistently. Thought Shane had a pretty good BP today. He was lining everything. Everything was a line drive from the left side of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pierre. Little roller to second. Neil Walker to his right a step. And an easy inning for Karstens. A much easier inning than the first. Phillies go down in order. Karstens has retired 5 straight. We move to the top of the 3rd. Phil's up 4-0. Com. Go to the fan section for all the information. And please submit your answer, Wheels, on the subject line. Here's the question. What were the nicknames of the two great Pirate hitters, Mike Easler and John Milner? You got it?
Yeah, I got one real fast, and I have to think about the other one. Oh, I got it. Well, I got a guess.
All right, so don't give it now. Wait
No,
till
no. I may be wrong, but we'll write it down before I forget.
Log back on to Phillies.com. Once you have the answer, we'll reveal it in the 7th. 1-1 the count to Alex Presley, who grounded to shortstop his first time up. 4-0 Phillies. Those two guys could hit.
Oh, man, could they hit. Pirates had a lot. Those teams they had at one time, they had so many hitters. Not just power hitters, but hitters. Lumber Company.
Called strike 3. Right on the inside part of the plate. 3 strikeouts for Blanton. Now that was a good pitch. Nice job by Joe to get the first batter.
It looked like a little runner, that little comeback sinker, and there it is. The one that Vance Worley is so successful with. Joe is a good one, too.
There's Tabata. Tabata struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. One ball, no strikes the count. Fly ball right center field. That's pretty well hit. Pence on the run, and that one is gone. Opposite field home run, 3rd of the year for Tabata. It's the 18th allowed by Joe, so it's a 4-1 ball game.
That ties it for the league lead with Mike Minor, as you said earlier, of the Braves, and the wind is going to help the ball to right center, and that's pretty obvious. As that ball just jumped out of here. This is a guy hitting the ball the other way. It's a fastball right down the middle, and here it goes. And this is well out of the ballpark to the opposite field. He hit it well, and the wind helped it.
So the Pirates are on the board.
Also saw the fastball location there, too, where it was, down the middle, and that's where most of the home runs are thrown.
It kind of zipped back toward the heart of the plate.
These guys now have 40 home runs on the road this year, 3rd in the league.
Yeah, the success they've had hasn't really been because of the offense. It's been because of their pitching, but they've put some interesting numbers up this year.
And they're hitting a lot of road home runs in the last month.
1-1 the count to McCutcheon. And 1-2.
Their park is
fastball.
Yeah, their park is not real homer friendly. It's pretty big, except for right field, and and it has a fairly high wall out there.
21 feet in honor of Roberto Clemente. Swing and a miss. He got it. 4 strikeouts for Blanton. First time he's gotten McCutcheon. Here are the splits, Wheels. Batting average not great. Runs per game, boy, they're averaging less than 4 runs per game, but the home runs are up. Surprised by the ERA, how drastic the difference between home and road.
Yeah,
they're 15-20 on the road this year, and 23-13 at home.
Well, it's a much better pitcher's park, PNC Park. Games the Phillies had at the beginning of the year. First game was 1-0. Second game was 2-1.
I look at those numbers, and I know this is what I used to say as a fan all the time, and I still say it now. Can you imagine if the Phillies had reversed their home record instead of 15-22, if they were 22-15? Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, it's true, absolutely true. And then when you've seen all the games, you know why it's 15-22, because they've been outplayed here.
0-2 the count to Jones. Out in front of a curveball, he hits foul.
Really like to watch Carlos Ruiz work on those breaking balls, change-ups like that. When he calls for it, put the glove down, really implore his pitcher, get the ball down, and we can get it out on this. Now he wants a high fastball.
There's Cliff, who lost yesterday in the nightcap. 7 innings, 5 runs, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts. There were times yesterday He retired 10 in a row where he was brilliant. Other times he was just in the middle of the plate. Here's Pierre to put it away, and Blanton does give up the home run to Tabata, but gets the other 3 hitters without any issue. On to the bottom of the 3rd. The Phil's up 4-1, and Hunter Pence to lead it off. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW for an appointment. And by Nissan's National 10 event. For a limited time, get bonus cash on Altima and Rogue. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer today. Phillies up 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Hunter Pence, Carlos Ruiz, Shane Victorino.
Don't want to sit on that lead because it's done that too many times this year, and all of a sudden there's a problem.
Chopper to short. Big hop for Barmes. Carl Graber, our statistician, just gave us an interesting stat. Karsten's 4 starts this year in the major leagues. The first inning of games, he's allowed 10 runs. The next 10 innings of games, Zippo, nothing. How about that, Wheels?
Well, he gave up just 1 run in that game against the Phillies in 6 innings in Pittsburgh in start number 1. Well, that's what happened tonight. They hit him with a 4 spot. Certainly wasn't all his fault. Phillies scored their run in the first inning against him in the game at PNC Park. On an infield hit by Hunter Pence.
Carlos Ruiz singled and scored in the first. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Carlos now 4 for 9 in the last 4 ball games. Probably catch the next 3 days. At least it seems that way. And Eric Kratz maybe the day game on Thursday. We'll see how it lays out. Another base hit. He just reached out and poked that one right where it was pitched. Carlos takes a wide turn. McCutchen, nice throw. And he holds up with a single. 3 more games for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tomorrow, Wheels, is another fireworks show after the ball game, brought to you by Xfinity. Wednesday is a 7:05 start. And then Thursday, before the Phillies head out to Miami for the first time this year, it'll be a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. First pitch is scheduled for 1:05 on Thursday. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Wheels, just remember the 5th inning tonight might be a test of the fireworks. Don't get startled.
That can really get your attention.
I'm not going to tell Sarge, though. I'm going to let it just happen.
Poor guy. Sneaking up on him again tonight, scaring him.
Victorino fouls it away. It's 0-1.
One of these days he's going to have a cup of coffee in his hand. You're going to get what you deserve.
He did. The first time I did it, he threw the coffee all over the floor and on his arm. Carlos goes. Pitch is low and away. The throw to second. It hits him and he kicks it away. Third stolen base of the year for Carlos. The element of surprise.
Yeah, he picked a great combination there to run on. Carson really rocked back on that. Took a while to deliver the ball to the plate, and he threw a changeup or something slow. See how he not real fast. Well, yeah, that was a changeup. Thought it may have been a curveball, but it was a changeup. Pretty good throw right there, and not held on to by Barmes.
Now a runner in scoring position. Victorino has an RBI tonight, looking for another one. Grounds it to the right side. Not hit that hard. Thrown out by a step by Walker.
He's used that curveball on Fontenot to get an out, and you figured he was going to use it on Victorino in a big spot and an RBI spot, and he did right there and got him out.
Phillies have 6 hits. They had 5 in the first inning. Polanco had 1. It was a single to right field.
Yeah, that was right after the pitch had come inside. He pulled a home run, foul ball down the left field line, home run distance. Talked about it and figured, well, you know, they'll probably go away from him right now. And knowing Polanco, he was thinking that. He looked out there and he bled one into right field.
Line drive, base hit to center field. Ruiz will score. Second hit of the night for Polanco. It's now a 5-1 ball game.
A nice run. Just talked about it. They really need to add on in games like this. You know, you hit a team early, you know, and then they start pecking away, and all of a sudden they get back into it. You start adding on, and all of a sudden it can be a little bit easier. Good swing there by Placido Polanco, and a line drive base hit right through the middle.
And McCutcheon was playing deep as the pitch came in, so no chance for him to get it. Wigginton the hitter. Swing and a miss. Tough pitch to hold up on. That was the slider from Karstens, who last year really had a coming of age as a starter. He was 9-9, but he had a really good ERA for most of the season.
Set some career highs last year.
And he started the year as a piece in their bullpen. Was a starter with the Yankees in their system. And you look, he was 9-9, but still 16 games under 500 for his career.
He had a career high in wins, games started, innings pitched, and strikeouts last year.
Chopper to third. Alvarez played it off to the side, but still had a chance to throw out Polanco. So the Phils get a run on the RBI single by Polanco. We're through 3 here in Philadelphia. First 3 innings look a heck of a lot better than what we saw yesterday for the Phils. magic tape, which tapes, repairs, then magically disappears. From who? But W.B. Mason. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth as we go to the top of the 4th inning. On a breezy night here at the ballpark, Joe Blanton has allowed 1 run and a home run, but his team has staked him to a 5-1 lead. First 4-0, now 5-1. It'll face Neil Walker, Pedro Alvarez, and Michael McHenry.
Yeah, that's 9 home runs in a row there for Joe Blanton as that ball sliced down the line.
And Walker's on his way to second. He'll get there standing.
You don't mind so much home runs with nobody on base, but still, again, it's an indication not being able to get that ball down in the zone. You got to be able to have it down in the zone in order to get ground balls. He doesn't want to give up fly balls. And again, 9 straight times he's given up home runs in his starts. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, and it has hurt him, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6-6. You know, there have been games where it hasn't bothered him whatsoever. Here, you know, the Phillies have a 5-1 lead, so it was a solo home run. As long as he can manage his way through, it's okay to give up one here and there.
Yeah, you can give up that home run, nobody on base, but you don't want to start, you know, getting runners on, walking guys. That's a good way for them to get back into the game. But more importantly, though, for the Fighting Phils, getting off to that 4-run lead, adding on another one, that's what you want to do, add on. And they seem to be playing with some energy tonight.
Yeah, and when you see a pitcher who's given up, 18 home runs, does that say anything to you? Location, tipping pitches, anything at all?
Well, not so much tipping pitches, but obviously, the location and how far the ball goes. I mean, that was a pretty long way to hit that ball in that particular area. But the fact is, again, movement, keep it out of the heart of the plate. He should have good success.
And predictable counts, I guess, too. I mean, that's an easy one.
No doubt about it.
2-1 the count to Alvarez with a runner at second. Alvarez singled his first time up. Walker on second with his 13th double of the year. Good changeup, 2-2.
Here's the movement that I'm talking about. And out of the zone. Everybody can't live over the heart of the plate, especially if you don't throw this hard. You're not going to be able to get away with it as much as guys that might throw the ball 95 and 96. Filthy.
5th strikeout for Blanton. He threw back-to-back changeups. Arm speed was the same. Velocity was 2 mph less on the second one. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Marlins lead the Cardinals 1-0. The game's in the top of the 4th. That game being played in Miami. Jose Reyes has scored a run for Miami. Marlins are directly ahead of the Phillies by a game. Phillies are 9 games back. The Cardinals are directly behind the Pirates in the National League Central.
I think that's what Charlie's kind of hoping, that pride for the Fighting Phils kind of kicks in, and therefore you have to hit that ball out of the ballpark. We've been talking about runners being aggressive, and they sure have been early on. That's what you want to do, put pressure on the opposition.
A little low, 2-0 the count.
Got to be able to go first to third, especially if a ball is hit to right field. That's awful aggressive, and you like that. That can become contagious.
McHenry came on for Rod Barajas, who turned his ankle in the bottom of the 1st inning. On a play at the plate, the first run that scored, Jimmy Rollins. Rollins came in and clipped Barajas' ankle as he was coming across the plate. Stayed in and then was lifted as a pinch hitter. The 2-1. Curve ball, down and away, 3-1.
You can get those catchers in a awkward position. When the ball is coming, they're trying to keep their eye right on the ball, and a lot of times runner and ball getting there just about the same can cause a lot of havoc.
Same thing happened yesterday with Brian Schneider for the Phillies.
You're already in a position that you're really kind of low to the ground. That's why most catchers like that ball where it's that long, true hop to them.
3-2 pitch and a call. Strike three right down the chute. 6 strikeouts for Blanton. He's got a nice mix, though, of swinging strikeouts and looking strikeouts. That's the second looking strikeout.
Fastball right on the corner there. I said ball dipping down. Getting a lot of sink on that ball.
6 strikeouts for Joe means that he has struck out at least 6 in a game in the last 5 outings. His season high is 8. His career high is 11, and Barmes fouls the first pitch. It's 0-1. Trying to get the number 8 hitter here with the pitcher spot up next. Let that pitcher lead off the 5th inning. Walker led off the inning with a double. He's on second.
Got a little bit of a cross type wind. Shouldn't help the balls that are hit the left field. Maybe the right field could get a little help. Hitters always like the wind blowing out of the ballpark. Don't have to hit the ball as well for a home run.
Opposite way, that's a base hit. Pence getting to it quickly. Walker coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. Pence gets it toward the plate, off to the right, safe at home. Well, he did a nice job coming up and fielding that ball on a true hop. And the throw was just a little offline. An RBI single to second is Barmes. It's 5-2, the Phils.
Yeah, I didn't understand why Walker was actually kind of looking back. That ball a clean hit all the way. However, he made it with a stand-up slide. Take a look at it now. He comes in and he throws that ball, gets a little more on top. He throws that ball all the way, but with it not being in that right area, you see how he had to reach and now come back around. If he doesn't do that, wouldn't be able to get the ball. If that ball's on the money, I think they have a good chance of getting him out.
Yeah, and as I said, Sarge, everything worked properly as he was coming in on that ball. He did a nice job watching it right into his glove, all in one fluid motion to make that throw. Karsten's the batter, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to Karsten. He struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1.
Had a pretty long talk with his dad. I met him last night.
Hunter Pence's dad?
Oh, yeah, and what a great guy talking about his 2 sons.
Swing and a miss. He got it with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 7 strikeouts for Blanton. He struck out 3 in the inning. The Pirates did score a run on an RBI single by Barmes. Middle of the 4th. It's 5-2 Phils. Your local dealer today. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Acura. Acura Advance. Bottom of the fourth inning, Mike Fontenot, the pitcher spot, and then the top of the order with Phil's up 5-2. 7 runs, 12 hits combined for the two teams. Sun is shining out toward the outfield here at the ballpark. Mike Fontenot takes a fastball for strike, 0-1. Fontenot struck out his first time up on a curve. Line drive, base hit to right field. Pretty good swing.
Pretty good swing and solid line drive.
Sarge, here's the throw from Hunter Pence.
Well, coming in. Now, he tries to get a little bit on top of this ball. Usually, he's throwing it from the side. You can see that a little bit from the side. Hunter Pence at an early age, at 11 years old, ended up hurting his arm. And his dad said he started throwing from the side, and then he continued to do that. He's always had really a good arm, probably one of the better arms
sure.
in the major leagues. Just a little bit more accurate he needs to be here this season.
Sacrifice is not successful as Blanton bunted at it and popped it to the third baseman. So one away. Fontenot back to first. You know, it's interesting. We talk about Hunter's style and love his aggressiveness. Everybody does. And his throwing style, he normally is on the money, but it's interesting that he learned that kind of style at such a young age. And I guess the habit of it, he never got back to the way a guy normally throws, but it hasn't really hurt him.
No, it hasn't hurt him at all. He felt comfortable in doing that. And again, when you're looking at all the different scouts he's getting scouted from different teams, they see nothing wrong with it. However, that's something that you wouldn't teach throwing from the side. But because of an injury, being able to throw that way, he was able to continue to play.
Now, his brother pitched. Did his brother throw that way?
His brother threw very hard. Very hard. Somewhere around 96, 97. And I did ask Hunter if he hit against him, and he said it didn't hit good.
Said he owned him.
His brother owned
him.
That's right.
Yeah. One out for Rollins. Ball gets away. Fontenot, great secondary lead, and he's going to get second base. That was all in the way he jumped off the bag. Score that a wild pitch.
Got to be ready for these as soon as that ball hits the ground. See the catcher there, he sees the ball and goes all the way. It's all in the jump. All in that secondary lead. Nice job to get over to second base.
Rollins 1 for 2, a double, and a run scored. And it's 2-0.
Now you might think, well, with the pop-up there, it doesn't really matter since he is on second base, but you get him over, and then that same pitch, now the runner's on third. So it does become big. You got to be able to try and advance those runners every chance you get. That's the pitch you want to see him lay off of, because when you swing at it, usually you're going to pop that up. Starting to do a better job in doing that. That's why his average has been coming up.
What if he gives him the green light here? He does. In the air, deep to right field. Forget about that one. Wow, that's a long one for Rollins off the Budweiser side. 7-2 Phillies here in the bottom of the fourth. That's one of the longest home runs I think we've ever seen him hit.
With no doubt in my mind. I mean, more like Babe Ruth-like, kind of standing at the plate. A little bit of a Kodak moment. And when you hit him like that, why not? All you got to do, listen to the sound of this. Well, couldn't hear that, but again, loud. Oh, my. I mean, the ball just hit so far. There it is again. Classic swing. Eyes down, right on the ball there. Whew.
And Katie Cronin of Ridley Park, you won $200 thanks to that home run by Jimmy Rollins at our McDonald's home run jackpot. Jim Thome liked it. Wanted one that count to Pierre. 7-2 Phillies.
See, that's what you get when you don't swing at that high fastball or bad pitches. Now you make the pitcher bring the ball down. Easier to hit it. Boy.
Well, as Jimmy catches his breath and Pence walks to the plate, let's check in with Murph with his Major League Notebook. Murph?
All right, T-Mac, Major League Notebook brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College, of course. The American League All-Star voting has been updated. And, guys, Josh Hamilton is getting close to setting a record. He has 7.4 million votes. The record is about 7.5, and folks have until Thursday to get those votes in. And some bad news for former Philly Marlon Byrd. He has been suspended for 50 days for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Now, Marlon is right now a free agent, so he's not going to be able to sign with any team until that penalty is up. That'll be around August 20th, guys.
Yeah, and Marlon, I guess it was about a year or two ago, was in the news because he had used some new ways to get himself stronger, healthier, quicker. And I wonder if that kind of stuff is coming back and haunting him right now.
Yeah, maybe. And, you know, he's obviously had a down year. He's been bounced around from team to team. He was with the Cubs, then with the Red Sox, then released. So not playing well either. So at this point, won't be able to sign with any team for 50 days because of that penalty. But, yeah, now it's one of those things that you got to be careful with what you put into your body because the random testing is out there in baseball.
Yeah, and more names are popping up as the years go on. Not as many. More recognizable names, but not as many names are popping up as were in years past.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't be really surprised that the guys, I mean, that are doing it, you know you're going to be tested. So I'm not really understanding it.
3-1 the count to Pence. 3-2. Carlos waits on deck. He's got 2 hits today. Phillies have 9 overall. Little number. That's going to be a tough one to throw out Pence. If they let it roll, it's going to stay fair. Hunter Pence has his second hit of the day.
Boy. Well, you got to have a little luck in this game, too. That was a breaking ball. That one a little further out in the zone there. Swinging bunt, we'll just call that. You can see, though, he does try and stay back on that. And take a look at that. That usually kicks right to the left and foul, but it's going to hit the bag right there. Staying on the inside.
Carlos 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Also has a stolen base tonight. Phillies up 7-2. Doug Slayton's warming in the pen for the Pirates. He slowed up that curveball a little bit more. Carlos out in front.
Just can't get over that home run that J-Will hit. And one of the things, too, though, you don't want to start trying to hit home runs. That was just a classic type of swing, a 3-0 swing. That's where you want it. You got it in a spot, you got it, didn't overswing, hit the ball out of the ballpark.
We've seen a lot of Jimmy's home runs over the years, if not all of them. And I mean, that if it wasn't the longest one, it was one of the longest ones.
I don't think he's hit a ball any harder at any time. He just squared the ball up. It's good to see.
0-2 the count to Ruiz. Rollins has now hit 4 home runs in the last 5 games. 0-2 the count to Carlos.
This is what I'm talking about. Look at his eyes. Look where that bat goes. I mean, his eyes just continue to stay on it. And knew it was gone when he hit it. Looked like he went like, woo.
I think we all went woo. Swing and a miss, and the Phils are retired here in the fourth. But they tack on 2 more thanks to a 2-run home run by Jimmy Rollins. There's the sweet swing. He took a 3-0 pitch and hit it off the side in right field. So as we go to the 5th inning, fireworks not yet, but the Phils offense has provided some. All-Star game on Wednesday, July 11th. See 50 of the league's best players before they become MLB stars. Post-game fireworks show will take place. Don't forget about the Home Run Derby, too. You can get your tickets by calling 610-370-2255. Visit ReadingPhillies.com. It is a great ballpark. It's one of the best in minor league baseball, and not too far from Center City. Ask Charlie Manuel about the Reading ballpark. He loves the food at the Reading ballpark. It's hysterical. And they do have great food. But we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. I was telling him about the AA All-Star game. And he said, Reading, great food. Concession stands. He was talking about the burgers. And I guess they have, and they started this after I left the Eastern League, but they have a chicken and a burger together on the same bun.
Really?
I think he liked that.
I don't know about that one.
Come on, Sarge. You always say you can't go wrong with chicken.
Yeah, but on a burger?
I think it's called a churger.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if they like that, they like it. I like those separate for me.
You can take it off if you want to, but it ruins the experience. Here's Tabata, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. But it's really a neat ballpark.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite ones to always go to when I was in the Eastern League with Thunder, the Trenton Thunder. And Scott Hunsinger, who's the general manager for the Reading Phillies, and his staff. You want to see some funny stuff? You go to one of their games.
Oh, boy. The minor league, though, experience has gotten a lot better these days.
Polanco behind the bag. Long throw. Whoop. Into the stand. So Tabata will get second. It's only the second error of the year for Polanco.
Well, that's you don't see very often at all. Comes in, he catches the ball there in fine fashion. He gets it down, he gets him out, but the ball just kind of got away from him. And you can see Ruiz there. This is why I think he's an all-star. Never takes anything for granted. He's going to start to back up that play as he goes over there. It's always some place you can go. That ball, though, thrown in the stands.
He's constantly moving on a play.
Good Hurnell, the manager, says this is their all-star player, Andrew McCutcheon. He's been a solid player, one of those players in the league that hustles all the time.
Line drive towards center. Victorino play it on a hop. They're going to wave Tabata home. The throw is cut off by Fontenot. So 7-3. The Phils lead is at 4.
Boy, Nick Leva taking a chance on that all the way, but that's what you want your runner to do, is to go there as hard as you can to third base. He'll decide whether or not that he wants you to go home or not. Take a look at it as he's trying to see. Not sure if his ball is going to be caught, but he was trying to score no matter what. Made it pretty easily.
Well, we mentioned in the first inning, McCutcheon's always a threat to run. 14 steals, been caught 4 times. Garrett Jones takes a fastball for strike 1. Blanton has struck out 7. His season high is 8. His career high is 11.
This club's playing pretty good, Pittsburgh, and don't have a lot of quit in them. It's one of the reasons that they're up near the top in their division.
Well, they're 18-9 since the 25th of May, which is the best record in the National League. Little bloop down the left field line, foul.
Look where McCutcheon was on that. Should have seen him running when the ball was hit. He already knew that no one had a chance to actually catch that ball. Now take a look at him as he starts to run there. I mean, he is low flying just in case. And that's, again, not taking anything for granted that it's going to be fair or foul. That's the way that Clint Hurdle, manager, has this team playing.
Little tapper back to the box. Blanton has it, throws to second for 1, and Rollins just couldn't get it out of his glove. But a good play to get the lead runner. You get the faster guy off the base path. A fielder's choice. 1-6 on the put out at second.
Good play there by Blanton. More so a good pitch. Hitter off balance. See that throw there, right there on the money, and just couldn't get it out of the glove, or maybe that hard slide by McCutcheon as he comes in sliding.
Walker's 1 for 2. Doubled and scored his last time up. Well, I have to tell you, that's why you never assume anything on injuries.
Right.
Way off. I mean, way off at what was wrong with Rod Barajas. Jay McLaughlin, our in-house public address announcer, just said that Barajas left with a bone bruise in his knee.
And you thought it was what?
I thought he turned his ankle because his ankle twisted on that play at the plate.
He was pretty low, and it looked like it was twisted, but you're right. You just can't tell until you go in there and get examined.
0-2 the count. Outside 1-2. Seriously, we asked everybody in the booth. Pete, our camera operator, Carl Graver, our statistician, Christine, our stage manager, to raise their hand if we thought it was a sprained ankle. Everybody would raise their hand.
Well,
right?
I mean, I can't think you want to just get people to fall right in there. Dr. McCarthy.
Just because of the way the replay looked. I mean, he looked like he hurt his ankle.
Well, I thought maybe J-Ro had slid in and had something to do with the ankle. I mean, that's what I was led to believe. And looking at it, and you can see him coming in. His foot is out there, and he slides in.
I didn't think his knee really got hit, but let's hope he's okay.
Well, they said it was a bruise, so should be able to come back here pretty soon. A lot of weight, that is, though, falling on your knees.
Swing and a miss. He got him tied up with a cutter. 8 strikeouts for Blanton. That matches his season high. He allows a run. It's an unearned run. On to the bottom of the 5th. It's 7-3 Phillies. Tonight on Sports Night, get highlights, reaction, and analysis of not only this ball game, but also the possible return of Chase Utley. Plus, catch up with Eagles wide receiver Jeremy Maclin, and we'll speak with local prospects as the NBA draft approaches. Toyota Sports Night after Phillies postgame live on Comcast Sports Night. Home half of the 5th. Jeff Carson's still out there. He's thrown 70 pitches. They've had their bullpen up a couple times. And he'll face Victorino, Polanco, and Wigginton.
Say one thing about Utley, he looked to be in terrific shape. Arms look like they've gotten a little bit bigger.
Yeah. And he was moving well, too. He said during his press conference in the dugout that he thinks playing tomorrow for the Iron Pigs and playing in a AAA game will help his defense, because there will be a different speed and tempo to the game.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, and better pitching. Well, the guys in the minor leagues, they take a look at him and seems to be moving awful well. No, those arms are bigger.
Oh, he definitely looks like he's in great shape. Alvarez will give this a look. It's out of play. 2-2 is the count to Victorino, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored, an RBI, and a ground out to second.
And just with his presence and coming back will give the team a lift. And you know, no one in the league plays as hard as he does, or maybe just a few guys.
Over towards shortstop. Barmes picks it on a hop. But and just the insertion of Utley in the starting lineup, probably in the 3-hole.
Oh well, that's his position.
But the insertion with Utley in the lineup, it changes things for other guys and puts them maybe in a better spot for them.
Yeah, and I would think too, less pressure. You know, he's one of those type of guys in certain situations. You know, he either gets a hit or he gets hit, and he doesn't mind getting on base. He knows the situation. It'll be good to have him back. I mean, that's just being able to plug in another player that you know that can do damage and carry your ball club when he gets hot.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good swing on that. He's probably wondering how he even missed it.
Polanco's 2 for 2. He is an RBI to go along with 2 singles. Fly ball, center field. One of the great quotes that Utley had today was during his press conference. He said, "I know there are some people who have given up on me. There are some people who have given up on this team. I'll be the first one to tell you that I definitely have not given up on myself, and our guys have not given up on this year. We have strong-willed guys on this team."
Oh, he's right about that. But again, you got to have execution. You got to be able to play smart. You got to run the bases. And they haven't been doing that. Although I will say this game here seems they have a lot of energy. Got to bring that daily, however.
Ty Wigginton's the hitter with 2 outs outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Wigginton's 0 for 2. Strikeout and a fielder's choice. The other thing, too, there were a lot of questions about whether Chase would play a little first base when he came back. I don't think that's going to happen. He just looked crisp at second. He looked fluid. I know it's only ground balls during BP, but he's taking throws at second base, turning 2.
Well, that's a big part of it.
Toward the hole, back at it, and knocked down by Barmes, and then he fiddles with it. It's going to wind up being the 4th error of the night for the Pirates, and the 6th overall in the game.
That's amazing. They had 1 error in their last 10 games, and right now they got 4 errors in this game. One of the reasons they've been able to win is because of the good defense. That ball just hits him on the heel there. Barman's pretty angry with that because he knows he usually makes that play there 10 out of time. See how it bounced right up on the heel there, but he makes that play 10 out of 10 times. Not a hard play for any shortstop.
Fontenot singled his last time up and then scored on the Rollins home run. Look at that. 3 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors. 6 combined with the 2 the Phils have made.
I tell you, that plays a big part in your pitcher not throwing to more pitches and being able to get back there on the bench. You play good defense over the course of the year. You've saved that pitcher's his arm and, more importantly, probably his game in a lot of instances. Don't think he'll be swinging 3 at one time.
You don't think so? Pitcher up next.
Tell you, I do. I just like the way that Mike, his at bats that he has, he grinds them out. Not just swinging at the first pitch all the time, trying to set that hit away.
I think that's why there was such a surprise yesterday. He did it yesterday, swung at the first pitch.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. If you look at his numbers, I think he sees a little more than 4 pitches per at bat.
Yeah.
And that's a good number.
A little different, too, though, when you're pinch hitting, and most guys will tell you, hey, you're going to go up there and hit that first pitch fastball. He was a little bit late on it. Now, if he starts the game, usually he's taking a few pitches just to see where that pitcher is actually throwing the ball. Not bad. Looking for a fastball. He got the breaking ball, so that tells me that he's able to at least determine whether or not it was a breaking ball or fastball. Picking up the spin of the ball, very important as a hitter.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Fontenot. Runner goes, broke his bat, loops it over the head of Barmes. Wigginton's on his way to third. And Fontenot has 2 hits. The head of the bat is up the first base line. He's 2 for 3.
That's good hitting there because he's not over swinging. You know, if he's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, I guarantee you he comes off that ball. You take a look at Chooch as he keeps chooching on around to the third base there. Oh, you got to like that. You know, and again, just staying through. More importantly, you end up having the pitcher coming up.
Doug Slayton warming up.
Ty Wigginton there.
Yeah, he was getting wiggy with it.
Oh, okay. That wasn't chooching.
No.
He was getting wiggy with it. Well, anytime you can turn the lineup over, get the pitcher coming up. He ends up getting either an RBI or if he gets out, now you got the leadoff guy coming up again. And J. Rowe's been swinging a pretty hot bat.
Blanton grounds it to short. Barmes throws him out. The lineup is turned over. The Phils get a couple of base runners. They leave 2. We've played 5. On to the 6th inning here in Philadelphia. The Phillies on top by 4 over the Pirates. The week is battling back with the bat. After a slow, struggling start during April and May, Jimmy started to heat up as summer arrived. The kickstart at the top of the lineup the Phillies have enjoyed for so long returned in June, and the leadoff hitter's bat once again began to deliver with consistency. As J-Roll goes, so go the Phillies. And his turnaround is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, I think that's an understatement. As J-Roll goes, so do the Phillies. That's certainly the case tonight. He's homered tonight. He has a 2-run home run. He's also doubled and scored. So he's scored twice. He has 2 extra base hits. And the Phils up 7-3. Look at that. Since returning from his paternity leave, 321, 7 home runs, 19 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's, I mean, on a really torrid pace right now. It's just unfortunate and getting off to a bad start. And you're right, though. They need him in that leadoff spot there. And when he gets on, good things happen.
We start the 6th. Pedro Alvarez hits one on the ground up the middle, so he has his 2nd hit. And that's the 8th hit allowed by Joe in this ballgame. Sarge, we're going to wrap up the first half of the season against the Atlanta Braves here at Citizens Bank Park. It's their first visit to Philadelphia. Tickets are still available for all 3 of those games. 2 night games and then the day game Sunday, July 8th at 1:35. Great summer baseball. Order your tickets at Phillies.com. There's Doc, who threw in the outfield today again. And Phillies won't have him back by that series against the Braves, but hopefully not too long after that.
Yeah, when he comes back, you want to make sure he is healthy, ready to go. See him long tossing there.
Still symptom free.
And that is the main thing. That way you can go forward with that program you got going.
Just nice to get everybody back, you know, just get them all back and then see what happens.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, you can see how fortunate you are when you have your main guys for just about the whole season.
Foul ball off the bat of McHenry, who's 1 for 2 tonight.
Nobody feels sorry for you in this game, so you got to pick it up. The reserves got to do better. Just don't want to be too far out when they get their guys back. I mean, they've proven that they can put some wins and put them together.
I think one of the big parts of baseball are streaks. Even the worst teams go through a good streak.
Yep.
Phillies haven't gone through a real good streak, whether it be here at home. I mean, they've won games in a row, but nothing like they're used to.
Yeah. 8 out of 9, maybe 9 out of 10 games, something like that. Maybe sweeping a couple of teams. Can't really think about sweeping right now. Got to, again, continue about trying to win that series.
Fly ball deep left center field. Pierre on the run. The wind is going to keep it in the yard. Wow, did he have to come back? Rollins lost his hat. That's blown all the way to the infield grass. I think if the wind wasn't here, that ball would have been out of the yard.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, that's a candlestick type wind there in San Francisco. Juan Pierre having to come all the way back in. Now this ball here has hit a ton up in the air. He thinks he has a bead on it. The good thing he does, keep his eye on the ball as he tumbles to the ground and goes, woo, wow. I can't believe that. Most of them thought that it was going to be out of the ballpark. Can't believe that he had to come in and catch that. That's a great play, keeping your eye right on the ball there.
Barbas takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Matt Haig has come out on deck for the Pirates. Let's hang with it, Juan, hang with it.
I think Pierre does have that speed. A normal left fielder may not have been able to corral that ball.
What was entertaining to look at after he made the catch, you think about it, if it was a different left fielder with less speed, it would have been even more entertaining to see if he would have been able to track it down.
Oh man, been there, done that. That is not fun. The wind just moves the ball. It's just playing havoc with you out there.
Joe is zeroing in on 100 pitches for the night. It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. No chance. Even if that had a chance to be in fair territory initially, it was swept all the way back into the seats. Fans are booing because a Pirate fan has picked up that ball. They're still talking about it. There's James McDonald. He's the one that had that reaction in the dugout. McHenry's still talking about it.
No, because when you're in the dugout, you're going on sound a lot of times.
Yeah, see, look at that one. That would have been out. I mean, it was on the edge of the infield, basically, but that one would have been out a little farther.
Yeah, just floating as the ball goes out. Good pitch, however, by Joe Blanton as he gets in on the hands of Barnes.
Well, the Pirates are down to 2 extra men because Matt Haig is going to pitch it here. Haig 239 on the season with 7 RBIs. He's played 27 games. So Karstens is done after 5 innings.
You want to keep these guys right at bay. Don't give them any hope. They've had 18 comeback wins this year when they've been down. They're a little bit used to coming back on teams.
Fly ball right field. Slicing back toward Hunter Pence, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. So Joe Blanton kept the ball in the yard in this inning. He allowed a leadoff single, but then watch this one. Off the bat of Michael McHenry. Ooh, Juan Pierre kept his eye on it, made the play. Dugout for the Pirates thought that one had a chance to be out of the ballpark off the bat. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. Buy Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play the new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery Black Tie. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. And buy Honda. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. Well, some of the folks enjoying tonight's ball game. It's turned out to be maybe sweatshirt weather with the wind blowing in. It's cooled off. Doug Slayton will take over for the Pirates as we start the 6th. Slayton's 10th ball game, a 2.45 earned run average. I guess Clint Hurdle's thinking, oh, I'm going to switch Jimmy Rollins around to the right side. He's red hot from the left side tonight. Give him a different look.
Yeah, well, I think he actually has more power from that right side. You know, when you're seeing that ball good, doesn't matter what side you're hitting from.
Phillies have done a lot of good things tonight. They've run the bases exceptionally well. They put a lot of pressure on the Pirates.
Yeah.
They've also hit well with runners in scoring position. They had come into this game 10 for their last 61 with runners in scoring position.
Wow.
Rollins may have broken his bat on that. And Jones picked it up at the last moment. One away. That's why we always say you have to run everything out because you never know.
Well, you have to hustle. I mean, you could take away from your whole game there, you know, and now he tries to pick it up. It's too late there.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy didn't look like he was running the whole time. So if he was sprinting the whole time, he might have been safe.
Might have been safe there, but the fact is, though, unless you are hurt, you have to hustle. I mean, all the time. You got to be giving it 100%, getting down there to the line. Sure, the game is about hitting, but the game is about hustling and making sure that, and that's the part of the respect of the game that each and every one of the players should have.
See Pierre, now he's moving the whole time. It's a clean throw, and he's retired easily. 2 outs here in the 6th.
And that's when you look bad, is when, you know, they make an error or not catch the ball cleanly. That's when that player looks bad. That's when, you know, the fans are give you the boo. As long as you're hustling, giving 100% here with these fans, they applaud you.
Hunter Pence tonight is single to right. He's reached on an infield single. He's 2 for 3. Want to know the count to Pence. A lot of smiles at the ballpark tonight.
You get those runs, you're going to get smiles.
Just does. I mean, we know this because they've been so successful over the last well, even 7 years, 8 years, even though it's only been the last 5 that they've won the division title in the World Series appearances. But winning does bring energy, excitement. McHenry just got nailed with that foul ball. Remember, their starting catcher, Rod Barajas, is already out of the game. Quinn Hurdle, who caught during his professional career.
Ted Barrett, the home plate umpire, he realizes that. Just a common courtesy that kind of let the catcher move his arm, move his leg, take a look at it as.
Right in the hand.
Oh.
His hand was not, as they always say, behind his back or behind his leg where it's supposed to be. He had it tucked in on the inside of his leg.
Tough position. They take a beating even when they're doing things right.
Two and two the count to Pence with the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He's been doing a better job at not swinging at a lot of bad pitches. And again, when you're doing it from top to bottom, you wear the pitcher down mentally. That's why you got to have your team having tough at bats. That's what Greg would do. Greg Gross, the hitting coach, he'd have tough at bats.
Over to shortstop. Barmas charges and makes the play. And his former teammate. Phillies go down in order here in the 6th inning. We've completed 6, on to the 7th. Phillies up by 4. Top of the order is due up for the Pirates. Oh, we start the top of the 7th inning off the reaction by James McDonald on that ball hit by Michael McHenry.
Really?
And the first pitch of the inning is a strike to Alex Presley, who's 0 for 3.
They were standing up about 6 rows deep out there in the seats in left center field, thinking they were going to catch it, and that wind knocked that thing down.
It's remarkable.
Well, we talked about it earlier that it's going to be hard to hit one to left or left center, but man.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. And he went on that one, 1-2. Blanton has struck out 8 tonight, which is tied his season high.
Yeah, really need another inning out of him. There's the way those flags are blowing. Wow.
Chopper right side. Fontenot got a good jump, set himself, and I think he may have turned his ankle. I think he may have turned his ankle.
I think you're right. Here's a guy getting a chance to play a little bit. Wow. Unbelievable.
Sean Ficasny, one of the Phillies athletic trainers, coming out.
Look at Chase
check on him.
Looking out there like, oh no.
I said ankle, but we went through this before with Barajas. It could be his leg, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah. Something twisted funny when he threw that. They reached it for it. Well, we'll see.
It's like he's walking okay, at least for the moment.
Here's the ground ball. The ball's to his left. Not a tough play.
It was right before that.
And then as he goes to throw, yeah, as he's making that little crow hop, it looked like, yeah. Right here,
there.
It rolls over. Yeah, that's an ankle. He'd like he was able to complete that play, that thing didn't collapse on him, that he fall. Because right there, now it started to bend a little bit, and then he completes it, and then decides he better get it checked out. Here's our game summary. This had a little bit of everything. Had some little league play early on where guys are just running till they got to the dugout. Pirates very uncharacteristically having some defensive lapses in that 4-run first inning, and then a couple home run balls. Jose Tabata and Jimmy Rollins hit a long one.
I said that was one of the longest ones, if not the longest I've ever seen him hit.
Yeah, it hit the sign, didn't it?
The Budweiser sign.
That would have been a pretty one to see in Pittsburgh. That would have flown over everything out towards the Allegheny.
Tabata fouls it away. It's 0-2. Because of that home run Jimmy hit, and each one the Phillies hit this season, one tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phils, PHS, and Aramark.
He earned his 3-0 green light on that one, Tom.
Yeah, he did. For more information, visit phillies.com/redgoesgreen. Home Run for Trees is part of Plant 1 Million. Another foul down the right field line.
And Blanton up to 910 pitches, so trying to get him through this inning.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard out Wrigley Field. Joe Mather's 2-run home run has given the Mets a 2-0 lead at the bottom of the 4th. Joe Savory hasn't worked in a little while. He's in the bullpen. To right field, playable for Pence. First out, or second out is recorded. So 2 away. These lucky fans' wheels are tonight's Citizens 7. They were introduced to a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com.
They're not down below us tonight. Huh?
Nope, they've decided to venture up to the upper deck tonight. Right. Congratulations to all.
Boy, has this guy figured it out. Good swings. How low he holds his hands, then he brings them up a little bit.
Fast hands.
Quick, really quick. If you're going to start that way, you get him up there. Now he does a little bit before it's delivered, but still. His hands are low, then they're up, and he is loaded.
And Carlos has to hurry, bare hands, and flips it in plenty of time. That's a good inning from Joe Blanton. A really good play by Carlos Ruiz. 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates. It's the first 1, 2, 3 inning of the night for Joe Blanton, and it's time to stretch. Answer your question one more time. What were the nicknames of two great Pirate hitters, Mike Easler and John Milner?
How about John the Hammer Milner?
That is correct.
And Mike the Hitman Easler.
That is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fence. Do you know why John Milner was named the Hammer?
No.
You would think it's because of his ability to hit the ball, right?
Was he from Atlanta?
Well, I don't know that. But it was because he did idolize Hank Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he could hit.
So we're going to start calling you Whitey.
Yeah. He was my idol. There's no doubt about it.
Bottom of the 7th inning.
John Milner is one of 4 left-handed hitters in 1979 to hit grand slam home runs off Tug McGraw. That's hard to believe. That's a look it up. I'll probably be wrong, but
who were the other 3?
The other 3, Ed Ott.
Another base hit for Ruiz. That's going to climb his average closer to Joey Votto, who's second in the league in hitting. Carlos came into that at bat, Wheels, 352, third in the league behind David Wright and Votto.
Swinging a bat great.
And now with 3 more hits tonight, it's his 10th 3-hit game of the evening. His average will be should be a 353. And yep, you can vote for him right now to Phillies.com. .355 is Ruiz's average, so it's his 10th 3-hit game of the season.
You want the other 2?
Said evening.
You want the other 2 that hit the slams?
Yeah.
Well, Ott and Milner hit him in back-to-back weekends, believe it or not.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad weekends.
Yeah, Phillies lost 7 out of 8 in those 2 weekends, something like that, when the Pirates put him away in '79. Terry Kennedy, who was with the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, I tried to bat like him at one point. I was right-handed though.
Yeah, I was going to say he's left-handed hitter. And Billy Bucks, Bill Buckner.
Yeah, okay.
He had that was amazing that he would throw 4 slams in 1 year. And they're all left-handed hitters. And Tiger, of course, was better against right-handed hitters because of the screwball.
Yeah. Terry Kennedy was a good catcher for the Padres during his career. And now Slayton will get a visit from McHenry. He used to hold the bat away from his body, like way away from his body.
I think his father hit it. I mean, didn't he hit it when he was with did he play for the Cardinals too?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Cardinals Padres. I think he went from the Cardinals to the Padres.
Yeah.
It could have been vice versa. but he stood. His hands were, Terry Kennedy, were way away from his body. And then he had to come back and then go through.
Came from a baseball family.
Victorino's 1 for 3. That's ball 4. So first and second with nobody out. And here comes Placido Blanco. Seniors 55 and over relive history at a unique Phillies alumni luncheon in the Diamond Club here at the ballpark Thursday, August 9th. Oh, happy birthday, Wills. They're going to have a birthday cake for you, too. From 11:30 until 2:30. Listed as Bill Giles, Tim McCarver, Kent DeColby, Bobby Wine, 2012 Wall of Fame inductee Mike Lieberthal. Not only sing happy birthday to Wheels, but they'll also share their Phillies stories.
That's an off day.
The event includes photos with the 80 and 08 World Series trophies and a ballpark tour. Call 215-463-1000 for more information. It's nice that Tim's going to come up and spend the birthday with you.
Yeah, that's his number one thought for that day.
Polanco is 2 for 3 with an RBI.
Phillies are going to honor Timmy that weekend because he will have already received the Ford C. Frick Award, for the broadcasting wing of the Hall of Fame, and congratulations to him. And that'll be a nice ceremony up there in Cooperstown. Then he'll be honored here at Citizens Bank Park that weekend.
What kind of cake are you going to have that day?
No idea.
Strawberry shortcake?
Like that.
Another ball in the dirt. Another block by McHenry. 2-0.
Love angel food.
Ray Searage going out to the mound. Ruiz back to second. Victorino back to first. And McHenry will join Ray Searage out on the hill.
Be nice to add on here a little bit. Bullpen is up. They're going to hit for Blanton. So, Wanson well very aware of that at third base as far as decisions, because you're not going to have your pitcher hit in this inning. Fanatic wants him to break this up. Let's go. He wants a win here tonight. He wants some boom booms.
Fireworks show right after the ball game.
And it's best. Haven't seen one for a while, but I hear it's still the greatest. Everybody that sees a fireworks show here just raves about how good it is.
Well, after the meeting on the mound, it's 2-0 to Polanco. 3-0. Boy, he's missing down in the dirt one after another.
And last inning he had 3 turn him overs to short. Boom, boom, boom. 3 ground balls. And now this inning is struggle. They'll get after him.
Wigginson's on deck.
Keep talking about how hard it seems to win a game where there's not something going on at the end. Well, it'd be nice to just bust one open and coast.
So the bases are loaded for Ty Wigginson. Back-to-back walks. Clint Hurdle's going to check and see who he's got ready to go. Ty Wigginson up with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Washington's taking a 1-0 lead over Colorado. RBI in that ball game by Zimmerman. Not sure if it's Jordan or Ryan, because Jordan is pitching tonight. It's an RBI double. It is Ryan. Although the names are spelled differently, I should have looked at that. Jared Hughes is warming in the pen for the Pirates.
They have 5, 6 right-handed pitchers available out there tonight.
Sorry, Wheels, I'm going to correct myself. It's Strasburg that's pitching tonight.
Oh, okay.
37, not 57. 1-1 the count.
Well, the Rockies will know the difference.
100 degrees at game time today.
Where, in Denver?
Denver.
Oh, will it fly?
All those fires that are going on around the Denver area.
Very dry out there, yeah. You can have those days out there. Been out in Denver where it's in the 90s and like 10-15% humidity.
Infield in, bases loaded. 1-1 the count to Wigginton. Phil's up by 4. So McClellan shifted around too, the second base umpire.
Man, this guy really lost his strike zone all of a sudden. To see him with the Nationals, that's not good.
With 2 hits waiting on deck. Jeff Karsten started the game. He went 5 innings, allowed 6 earned runs and 11 hits, 7 runs overall. Slayton had a 1-2-3 6th inning. Now he's allowed 3 base runners to start the 7th. And the 3-1 swing. He taps it foul. 3-2.
Mentioned the infield in with nobody out. You know, this is Clint Hurdle's way of saying we don't even want to give up a run here on a double play. So we're going to take every chance we can, play the infield in.
Ruiz at third, Victorino at second, Polanco at first. A base hit should score 2. At least to center and left, because those guys are deeper than Tabata and right. Good numbers for Ty from the 7th inning on. We are in the 7th. Runners lead off. The payoff pitch coming to Wigginton again. Inside ball 4. It forces it a run. 3rd straight walk issued by Slayton. And the Phil's lead is back to 5. It's 8-3. Got to figure that's going to be it for Slayton.
Well, he got a left-handed hitter, so he may give him one more, huh?
I just thought 3 straight walks would exasperate Clint Hurdle enough.
Well, I'm sure it has, but you know, he's just going to stay and hope for percentages here. Hey, nice to see Fontenot come up too, that he's okay, but that didn't look good when it happened.
Hector Luda's out of the on deck circle for the Phillies. Fontenot's 2 for 3.
You know, they have the numbers down there that Fontenot's 0 for 8 against left-handed pitching too, so you know, that's another reason why they're going to roll the dice here with this guy for another hitter.
Outside, 2-1 the count to Fontenot. got a good pitch to hit there. It's even now 2-2. It's a fastball that was in. Jake Diekman continues to stand on the mound in the Phillies bullpen, so you figure he's the next guy out. Joe Blanton tonight went 7 innings, did a nice job. 7 hits, 3 runs. 2-2 the count to Fontenot. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Ted Barrett. Surprised he didn't ask for help on that. 1 away here in the 7th. Hector Luna's now the hitter. No move made by Clint Hurdle. Luna 286 with a couple of home runs, 10 runs batted in. They're going to play the infield back looking for 2.
Yeah, they were just trying to get that out so they could move the infield back.
Luna pops it foul. It'll be out of play off to the right. Hector got the start in yesterday's first game of the day-night doubleheader. Hasn't had a lot of chances to play. He has 14 hits and 49 ABs. Phillies this year against the other team's bullpen hitting .264. They've now scored 117 runs against the other team's bullpen. They had more damage done in April and the first part of May than they've done in the back end of May and here in June against the other team's bullpen. Well, they're trying to bust this baby wide open here with Jake Diekman warming in the bullpen. Well, 8 runs on 12 hits. Makes everybody happy tonight. And they got this wave going, and it's in sync. Two and 2 the count. Rollins on deck. Rockies have tied up the ball game out in Denver, so that's 1-1 in the 4th. Miami's added to its lead in Florida over the Cardinals. Mets still trail the Cubs. They're making their way down the left field line, top to bottom. Upper deck's a little slow though. And a foul tip into the glove of McHenry. Back-to-back strikeouts for Luna. 2 outs with the bases still loaded. Here comes Rollins. Give Clint Hurdle some credit. He's stuck with Slayton here.
Amazing. This guy's all over the place. Walks in a run. Still the bases loaded, nobody out, and strikes out 2.
Rollins takes a strike. Here's Jimmy's home run earlier in the ballgame back in the 4th.
He got the 3-0 green light right on the barrel, and obviously with the wind blowing out, and as hard as he hit that, he knew that was long gone. Wind blowing out to right and right center, certainly not to left and left center, as Michael McKerney would testify to, the catcher for the Pirates, who just absolutely tattooed one.
Look at the flags.
Pierre started going back and then had to really hustle in to catch it.
That moves the count to 1-2. Victorino still leading off third. Polanco still off second. Wigginton still off first. 1-2 the count. And he went on a slider. Boy, Slayton had just the oddest of innings. A single, 3 straight walks, a run scored, then 3 straight strikeouts. Well, happiness here at the ballpark. They're doing a wave, getting ready for fireworks. Phil's up by 5 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Vehicles that get 30+ MPG. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Buy McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1. And buy Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. New left fielder for the Phillies is John Mayer. He'll take over for Juan Pierre. The new second baseman is Michael Martinez. So Charlie making some adjustments with a new pitcher, Jake Diekman, coming in as we start the top of the 8th inning. 6 outs for the Phils bullpen.
Using the left-hander here. I think to get Diekman back in the game probably after yesterday, but more than anything, you start out left-handed with Jones, then Walker, who's a better hitter, left-handed. So they'll turn him around right-handed, and then a left-handed hitter in Alvarez.
So Martinez will bat 9th. And Mayberry will bat 2nd, so he'll lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. And Diekman will bat in the 8th spot. Garrett Jones, hitless in 2 at bats and a walk. First pitch fastball outside, 1-0. Clint Hurdle stuck with Doug Slayton. And although he walked the 3, he allowed a run. It could have been a lot worse, but he got 3 straight strikeouts.
Didn't feel like it, but then when you all of a sudden you realize you get the bases loaded with nobody out and didn't score after scoring. Strange.
You got a night like this where it seems like everything's been clicking too.
Yeah. This will be the year you look back at guys left on base in situations where you could break games open, win them, tie them. Just tough that way.
3-0 the count.
This is what happened to Diekman yesterday. He was all over the place. And they're trying to get him straightened out tonight, facing these lefties.
Charlie discussed it today. He's discussed it a handful of times, and he was good about the things he had said. And there's ball 4. He said, listen, we have big upside in talent out of the bullpen. You know, he meant Diekman, he meant Schwimmer, guys like that. They're still learning how to command the strike zone and still learning how to get confidence on the big league level.
Yeah, and he knows that they've been putting him in they don't want to put them in tough spots, and this is not a tough spot. It's a 5-run lead. It's a spot where you can go ahead and relax, throw the ball over the plate, and show you belong in the big leagues.
Neil Walker will bat right-handed. He takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. That's 5 in a row out of the strike zone. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. Miami's lead is now 5-1 over Jose Reyes, who has 2 hits. Here's Jonathan Papelbon. 5-run ball game, not a save situation yet.
Yes, we're hoping not to have one of those tonight and have an easy game, and had a heck of a chance to have it last inning.
There's a strike, 2-1. B.J. Rosenberg, who struggled yesterday in his relief appearance, he was sent down after the ball game. He walked 4. Diekman walked 1 in that inning. 2-2 the count. This kid was one of the bright spots in spring training, and he will continue to be that way once he settles into the strike zone a little bit more.
He's got good stuff. I mean, he should
really
be able to pitch in the major leagues. But right now he's a project.
2-2 the count. Over to second, that should be 2. Martinez flips to second for 1, 4, 6, and 3.
That should be a good lesson for Jake. You know, on all the problems he's having, don't overthrow. Throw the ball over the plate, and even if they hit it, something good might happen. If you walk guys, nothing good's going to happen. He went from 2-0 to 2-2, throws another strike here. Probably was ball 3, but, you know, Walker swings at it because it was close enough. Double play, all of a sudden 2 outs and nobody on base, and that's it. Throw it over the plate and take your chances.
Well, with 2 outs, here is Pedro Alvarez. 2 for 3 today. Hitting against the left-hander for the first time. Takes strike 1. Here we go to a fastball at 93. He can throw at 97, 98, and he may have to at some point.
I think sometimes when I watch him, when he takes a little off the pitch, he's better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes guys will overthrow a little bit that have the great velocity. And he has an improving breaking ball like that one. Left-handed hitters there's going to be a time when they're not going to be comfortable against this guy, and they may not be already.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Alvarez. Chopper up the first base line.
That was a bail and whale swing, and that's what you hope to see from left-handed hitters against Jake Diekman. Qualls is ready, and you know, if this guy were to get on, then they'll go to him they may go to him for the right-handed batter. Clint Hurdle does not have a left-handed hitter available.
Got him.
There you go.
Boy, he got him with a slider. It was nasty. The strikeout is finished off by Ruiz. 2-3 on the putout. Oh, good job by Diekman to sidestep that leadoff walk, get the double play, pick up the strikeout, take this game to the bottom of the 8th inning. That's what we're talking about. He certainly has the ability. Pirates are going to be in town. It's a 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday is the Apple Vacations Photo Day, presented for the Phils fans. A free 2012 Phillies print to everyone coming to the ballpark that day. Sunday, July 22nd, the Pico Roy Halladay Fathead Jr. That's free to fans 14 and under. Order your tickets now by heading to Phillies.com. Jared Hughes, the new pitcher, as we begin the 8th. John Mayberry will start it off. And Mayberry takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Mayberry came on as part of a triple switch. Came on to play left field for Juan Pierre. 1-0 the count to John, a .239 hitter. With 6 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Pirates bullpen has been very good. In fact, if you look at the numbers, it's probably been the best thing about them.
Well, they play a lot of low-scoring games, and they're not a big offensive team, although they picked it up a little bit. And they catch the ball well, which they didn't tonight. But that's why a bullpen is so important when you're playing a lot of low-scoring, tight games. And you see what's happened here this year is Phillies have let so many games get away late because they're close games. The Pirates, on the other hand, as you said, they've been able to hang in there.
Yeah, their bullpen earned run average is 2.74, which is second in the National League. By comparison, the Phillies are 13th.
Grilly's come out of nowhere to really get healthy and be good for them. Jason Grilly, a right-hander, former Giants #1 pick. Phillies had him briefly in their system, but he's been hurt a lot throughout his career. And now all of a sudden he's a 94, 95 guy.
Mentioned by comparison, the Phillies are 13th. The Phillies earned run average as a pen is 4.53. So it's almost 2 runs more per game.
Think of what that does in close games late, and the difference in your 1-loss record. You want to look at a 1-loss record? Look right there.
3-2 to Mayberry. Swing and a miss. And 1 out here in the 8th. That's 4 straight strikeouts.
That's a pretty serious sinker he has. That baby had some dive.
Sure did.
Notice the velocity, how hard it was, but boy, it moved. See the 2-seam grip right there. That's a great shot of it. Look at it dive. Oh, wow. Look like Qualls.
Speaking of Qualls, he's going to start to throw again in the bullpen. I think he'll pitch the 9th inning, at least to begin. Hunter tonight 2 for 4, has an RBI, his 43rd of the year. High chopper to third. Alvarez around the bag. Here comes Carlos Ruiz. Let's think about the hand he's going to get tonight for what he's done. 3 runs scored, 3 hits. And a reminder, vote up to 25 times at Phillies.com to send Carlos and the rest of the Phils to this year's All-Star game. Again, you can do it any time. And you can vote up to 25 times for your favorite Phillies player. Vote early, vote often.
Guy's got some downhill leverage too at 6'7".
Oh, it's 2 the count to Carlos. Line drive to left field, and Presley will make the catch. It hung up there for him. It would have been a 4-hit night for Carlos. Instead, it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Pirates, which gives us a chance to go to the 9th inning here in Philadelphia with the Phillies on top, 8-3. recap and highlights of this game. Plus, Ricky Batalco will offer his insights and analysis on the Phils matchup. Watch Phillies Postgame Live presented by Cure Auto Insurance right here after the ball game. I'm sure Ricky will talk about Chase Utley and his potential return. Chase will play at Lehigh Valley tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Here we head to the top of the ninth inning. Chad Qualls is the new pitcher for the Phillies. Joe Blanton started the game, went 7, allowed 3 runs, 7 hits. He pitched very well. Tied his season high in strikeouts with 8. Joe's in line for his 7th win of the year.
Yeah, and once again, he kept the walks down. Joe Blanton has done a tremendous job this year, eliminating bases on balls. Only walked 1 again tonight. That really helps.
So Qualls 1-1, a 3.99 ERA.
Gives you a little more wiggle room to give up a hit here and there, or even a couple of hits if you're not walking anybody.
Plus, if you are going to give up a home run, solo shot instead of a 2-run shot.
Amen.
Qualls will face the bottom of the order. It's McHenry, then Barmes, and the pitcher's spot 7, 8, 9. Phillies came into this ball game 34-40 on the year. Trying to get to 35 wins and hope that the Rockies can overtake the Nationals. It's a 1-run game right now. Washington on top of Colorado. Just keep winning series and everything else will take care of itself. Think about these Pirates. 46-43 at the All-Star break last year, and then 26-47 after the break.
Came in here and they had a really tough series in Atlanta before they came here, and then they wound up on a 10-game losing streak, which started. Well, I don't know if it started with the Phillies series, but it was in that thing, and it really hurt them, and they never recovered from that.
2-hit night for McHenry, who didn't start this ball game. Rod Barajas did.
Now, he's the guy who hit that deep fly ball. I think Wigginton's probably talking to him about it right now. That was the talk of the Pirates dugout for a while, those shots you guys had. Now, they don't even want to get Papelbon up. You know, this is Qualls' job to get this over and get the fireworks show going.
Casey McGee is out on deck for the Pirates. Barmes, the batter, takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Nice situation when you have a lead, and a good lead. You play off the runner at first base. You know, you don't even care about.
1-1 the count. Barmes tonight is 1 for 3 in an RBI single in the 4th. He's also hit into a double play. That would look good right now. Wigginton backs up even more. Not a bad slider, just a little low. To the count. Opposite way, and a souvenir for a fan once Marcy makes that backhanded play. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Game 2 tomorrow night here at the ballpark. Van Swarley will get the start for the Phillies, and he'll be opposed by Eric Bedard. Wednesday and Thursday not set just yet. Phillies aren't sure what they're going to do as far as the starter goes. Wednesday, I think, more than Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be told later on what's going to happen there. That doubleheader necessitated the move, an eventual move.
Another foul ball. Here's Kyle Ketter. He should start on Thursday. Hit hard, foul. This is a heck of a bat for Barmes. Toyota Major League scoreboard out in Colorado. Washington, thanks to another run scored by Jesus Flores. He's taken a 2-1 lead over the Rockies. Game's in the bottom of the 5th inning. This will be the 10th pitch of this at bat for Barmes. He's going to need 11.
Boy keeps throwing him strikes. He keeps fouling them off. You want to see from Chad Qualls, don't walk somebody, and all of a sudden these guys have 2 on, nobody out. They're thinking, here we got a shot here. Nice double play ball. Have 2 outs and nobody on.
Polanco back behind the bag at third. Hit towards shortstop. Rollins has got it. There's the flip to Martinez. A little jump and a little dig out by Wigginton. 6-4-3 double play. Back-to-back innings now. The Phillies have turned to double play. They've turned 3 in this ball game. And Casey McGee will be the hitter. That was tailor-made.
That's what you wanted right there. For Chad to keep throwing strikes the way that he was with sinkers and hopefully get that double play ball and just take all the gas out or all the breeze out of that rally they thought they were going to have.
See McGee's numbers the last 19 games. Overall he's hitting .233 with 3 home runs and 16 runs batted in. Ball, no strikes, the count to McGee. To play third or play first.
Nice extra man on your club because, as you said, he can play third, he can play first, and he can hit a home run too. Hit some good years with Milwaukee.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Took him a long time to get a chance to play every day. He did with the Brewers. And had a very good year and then didn't follow it up with the same kind of year. In fact, last year Jerry Hairston Jr. took over for him in the postseason at third. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to McGee. This crowd of 44,721. They've got a lot to be excited about tonight. And the next thing they have to be excited about is the final out. Nobody on. Chad Paul's trying to finish this one off. Ground ball to third. Big hop for Polanco. That should do it. Across the diamond, and the Phillies have taken game 1 of this 4-game series efficiently by a final score of 8-3. They have run the bases well. They had some timely hits. They got a good starting outing by Joe Blanton, and they earned the victory, their 35th of the season. That's got to make everybody feel really good. 8-3 the final score. Charlie Manuel, win number 901. Who would have thought it would be that tough to get 901? But he gets it. Carlos Ruiz, a 3-hit night. Really did a nice job again behind the plate and also at the plate. He is now 3rd in the league at hitting with his 3 base hits tonight. The guy who caught tonight is our Chevrolet player of the game, and that's Big Joe Blanton.
Well, they gave him a nice little 4-0 lead to go into the 2nd inning after he got him out in the 1st, and Joe did a good job, as Tom said.